Hello and welcome back. You're tuned into Revision Hub with Chelsea Jane. I am back with another video, and in this video, I'll be continuing to look at crime and deviance, which is an AQA sociology topic. If you guys are happy that you are able to absorb more content within this video, press the thumbs up icon right now. So it's good to see that some of you are very keen to actually learn more. But before we actually learn new content, it's very important to do a quick recap and look at what we looked at in my previous video. So, last video we looked at the right realist theories on the cause of crime. And as I mentioned, I'll be continuing this within a series of videos as well as some other videos where I'll be looking at the left realist perspective as well. So, I want you to take a paper or flashcard and jot down what you remember from my previous video. You will know this if you revised, rested, tested, and repeated yourself. I think it's very, very important for you to do this because it will help you to remember the content and understand the content better, because it will be easier when you are in the exam. You have a question which you've never seen in your life before, and you can instantly apply what you have rather than taking time to go back and think. So please take a few moments to do this activity before going on with the next content. Okay, so today, as I mentioned, we'll be continuing the right realist as well as looking at the cause of crime. Last video, we looked at the first reason, which was simply biosocial as well as biological factors. So, socialization could be the cause of crime as per the right realists. So, Murray is a sociologist and he argues that a lack of a nuclear family type, for a nuclear family type, if you define that as two heterosexual couples with biological children and are living together. So Murray argues that if individuals do not have a nuclear family type, and as a result of not having that nuclear family type, it causes the child to not be socialized properly, and as a result, the lack of socialization, it can result in individuals to commit crime. So, Murray argues that simply due to not having a parental or fatherly figure, it causes the person to not know what an ideal father looks like. As a result, they think that an ideal father would be aggressive and would commit a lot of criminal deviant activities. So, due to not having that role model, it causes those boys or even girls to have these weak social bonds. As a result of having weak social bonds, it causes that frustration. As a result, it causes the individual to commit criminal or deviant activities. Here we can see a pure link with Hershey's theory about social bonds and the frustration as a result of crime. So we can link Hershey's with this theory of Murray. As you can see, everything is coming together, and I've done a video on this, so feel free to go back to my playlist and have a look at Hershey's theory again if you've forgotten Hershey's theory. Okay, as I just mentioned, that a lack of fatherly figure will result in antisocial or criminal behavior, which is really not acceptable. So Murray really found out a lot about this topic, and he conducted a lot of quantitative as well as qualitative research, and he found out that the true reason for the cause of crime is simply the US and the UK government are interestingly taking a lot of interest and supporting single parent family types. As a result of them supporting single parent family types, it causes the children within that family to have weak social bonds. As a result, they commit criminal and deviant activities. Hopefully this is clear, and this is a second point within the right realists who think that socialization can be the cause of crime. Rational choice are our right realist cause of crime. Sorry about that, that is hidden. I meant to actually make the font smaller. Sorry about that. So, right realists argue that crime actually comes from the rational choice theory. Who knows about the rational choice theory? If you know this, you can skip on. If not, I'll be explaining it. So, the rational choice theory argues that every individual has A, free will, and B, to reason that, you know what I am doing is right, what I am doing is wrong. If I do the wrong thing, I will have a consequence. So the rational choice theory argues that every individual has two things: free will and the power to reason. Clarke argues that the decision to commit crime is based on a rational calculation which individuals make. So, what happens is a criminal or a person actually weighs up the advantages and disadvantages before committing criminal deviant activities. When the advantages overweigh the disadvantages, that's when they commit criminal or deviant activities. And the rational choice theory obviously argues that everyone has free will and choice, has the power to reason. So if everyone has free will and the power to reason, it's actually their fault because it's their choice, and as a result of that choice, they've committed a criminal deviant activity. So, as I just mentioned this. So, however, this can be criticized by Felson's routine activity theory. So, Felson is another sociologist, and his theory argues that for there to actually be a criminal deviant activity being taken place, there must be some sort of motivated offender. For example, an absence of a guardian. You can link this to the last slide, maybe, and you can use Felson there. But in this case, the rational choice theory, this can be used as a criticism. Hopefully, this is clear, and this is one of the perspective which the right realists hold, because the right realists simply argue that it is because of the rational choice that individuals have free will and the power to reason that causes individuals to commit criminal and deviant activities. I think this is a very good theory, and it makes huge sense to believe in this, personally. Again, so now we've looked at the right realists and what they think cause crime. A could be biosocial factors, B, as we looked at, could be the rational choice theory, C could be socialization. Okay, so the right realists believe, okay, crime does take place, and you know what, there are these causes of crime. But what is the point of looking at the causes of crime when we cannot get over those causes? So, right realists have come up with various different views where they think that, okay, if we implement this, we can tackle crime. So, these are the right realists' perspectives in which they think that may be successful when it comes to tackling criminal or deviant activities that have taken place. So, they believe that, you know what, punishment needs to be harsher. The more harsher the punishment is, people are less likely to commit crime. As a result, when they weigh up the advantages versus the disadvantages, they will come to a rational choice and not commit that activity because of the consequences. And the consequences, if only those consequences are actually harsher, that's when people will not think of committing criminal deviant activities, more importantly, crime. So this actually links to the rational choice theory, which we've just looked at. But Ken Burns Park, if some of you remember. Also, there are various cases. You can Google them, have an example within your notes. I think that this can be used as a criticism because, and in many cases, as we can look at in various different court cases, an innocent has been driven to death penalty when actually it was not their fault and actually they were perhaps innocent. So you can use this as a valid criticism to the right realist on tackling crime. It's good if you guys have a Google and find other cases except from the Ken Burns Park, which will be very helpful for you because it shows the examiner that, you know what, you've understood the theory, you've linked it, you've provided an example, and you're able to criticize another theory, which is the right realist theory. Okay, so please do this when you are free, or maybe even if you can pause the video and do this. So, right realists believe another way to tackle crime is to have a zero tolerance policy. In the sense, do not tolerate anything, zero tolerate, instantly when you do something, you are punished. Wilson and Kelling have this theory about the broken window theory. They argue, for example, if I'm living in an area and someone comes and does some sort of graffiti, and I, as a citizen and as I being part of the community, I have a responsibility to go out and clean it ASAP. I do this just so the area does not deteriorate. Suppose if I don't do it, other people around will see that graffiti and think that, you know what, them doing graffiti is acceptable, so let me do it too. So this prevents the area from deteriorating. When things like graffiti takes place, perhaps it results into more criminal deviant activities. So the broken window theory actually simply argues that if we see any deterioration within the area, we must clean it, we must fix it in some sort of way or form so that we can show that other people that, you know what, your behavior is not acceptable within our area, and we can only do this as a community. So this is another theory of Wilson and Kelling known as the broken window theory. Hopefully this is a clear thing, and I'm not used the Wilson and Kelling's traditional example. I've used another example of graffiti. So also right realists believe in order to tackle criminal or deviant activities that take place and make sure that they finish is something known as target hardening. So again, to increase the punishment, increase the suffering. Clarke says that this will make it harder for people to commit crime. Again, you can link target hardening with the above point over here. Criticisms of the right realists. There are lots and lots of criticisms towards the right realists. Pause, have a think, have a Google, have a discuss on what criticisms you think that you can criticize the right realists with. Okay, so firstly, right realists ignore structural and economic factors of an individual. Right realists ignore white collar crime. They always point a finger at working class crime. They never look at middle class crime, white collar crime. Why is that? The zero tolerance policy causes the police to discriminate more against particular ethnic minorities, the youth, maybe some particular age groups. So I'll be looking at ethnicity, age, and all of these things and discrimination further in my next few videos. So stay tuned for that if you want more detail on that. So these are few criticisms that I have come up with. You guys might have various different criticisms. Some of them will be definitely valid. If you are confused whether your point is a criticism or not, drop it down in the comment section. I'll be willing to tell you if it is a criticism or not. And remember, criticisms can be positive. They do not always have to be negative. So what we have learned today, we've actually looked at various concepts. We've looked at we have looked at all of the right realists' perspective on why crime is caused. We have also looked at why they think that crime is caused, as well as we've actually looked at the punishment, how to tackle it, and also valid criticisms towards the right realists. So this is it for the right realist topic. Next video I'll be looking at the left realists, doing the same, looking at the causes of crime, criticizing their view, finding how the left realists think is effective in order to tackle crime. So till my next video, I want you guys to keep revising, keep resting, keep testing, and keep repeating yourself, because I think this is very, very important on all videos that I've done so far. And do not forget, I'm on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, please follow me. You can scan the name tag. It'll be very beneficial, especially if I can help you in any way or form, because there's a lot of content on Instagram that I've put up too. And again, do not forget to like my videos, subscribe. There's a small smiley. Please take a few moments to subscribe. Please comment if you are unsure about anything, if you want to say something positive, if you have any criticisms, please let me know. As well as please press the bell icon to never miss my video. Thank you so much for tuning in into Revision Hub with Jazzy J. Stay tuned, stay safe.